Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. The plan for today. Okay, obviously we got to get these LEDs mounted in this module. And I'm thinking of taking little dollops of blue tack and using it to block the light. And then I'm going to use Stynylrez black here, which is what this is already, and paint the blue tack. The blue tack actually paints surprisingly well, as long as you don't touch it afterwards. Now, a couple of things. First of all, one of the viewers noted that on that clear plastic stern section, when I was trying to paint the wire, I didn't notice I did that. But apparently, just as I was saying I got to be careful not to touch the plastic, just then I actually did. And now that I know where to look, he showed me where to look, I can actually see it. Well, we'll fix that up. Okay, second thing, I was sitting here this morning and you know the diving plane here, right? Okay, so on the diving plane there's the shaft that goes in, and then there's that little lever on the bottom that a push rod holds onto. Well, I was wondering, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if there's a push rod, because it's so long ago that I did the forward module that I couldn't remember if there was. Well, there is. Now, Murphy's Law says that I'm going to glue the push rod onto the wrong place so that when I put the plastic cover on, I can't connect it up. So I've got to try and rehydrate that and see if I can get the lever, or whatever you call that. I know what I used to call those things when I used to use them when I was building flying models, you know, to operate the ailerons and the rudder and so on. You'd have this little part that you'd hook your push rod onto. I can't remember the name of it now. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm going to try and get it onto this piece right here, so that I can hook up the push rod and make it look believable. Because right now it's just it's not hooked up. Now, mind you, I don't know if I can get it to. Well, we'll see what happens. If it works out, we'll do it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There's a lot of little pieces we got to line up here. I got to blue tack at the tops of a lot of LEDs because I don't want the top of the LED to be showing. I'd sooner that it was dark in there rather than lit up by something that shouldn't be. And now some of these modules do have what you might call a shield, so that when you're looking in, we got this shield here, and we don't see the two red LEDs that are going to go right here and here. In fact, you can't even see the holes. But then we've got these four holes here, and they the LEDs will show up on that one, because you'll sort of see over it, because the side of this is going to be clear. And it has to be clear because there is a lot of detail that I want to see. So I'm not going to paint any of this, none of it. I'm just going to leave the whole thing clear. You know, maybe Chris, Atacoke and Chris, when you make yours, you might choose to do it differently, and I'm sure it's going to be fine. All right, I'm going to go ahead now and try and mount these LEDs. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time trying to video. What do we got here? Well, we got 7:30. We're probably in about 2 hours. Missy the dog is going to come by. All right, we're ready for Missy the dog. On the, you probably noticed I got a little piece of microfiber cloth that I always put that camera down, because you can't put that camera down without it falling over on one of the lenses. It's part of the design. Okay, I don't have any other news. Minus 8 degrees. I noticed it was snowing. We did get more snow last night. Not very much, but just enough to make it slippery. Let's just recompose here and try and get some of our our 6 LEDs in place here, and then I'll be doing a lot of work today off camera. So, okay, let's get at her. Now the place in question, I'm just sort of touching it now. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit here. Is right there, okay, at the end of my Q-tip or cotton swab. I never used to use the term cotton swab until I started the Bismarck, and then so many other people refer to these things as a cotton swab. Maybe Q-tip is only a North American thing, I don't know. Okay, let's get our macro lens on here and move right in. Okay, I've got just a hint of Windex on the cotton swab here. And this should dissolve this nicely. This is what I like about using the Tamiya XF paints. Yeah, make a boo-boo like this and yeah. I think I'm still seeing something there. That's got it. Good enough anyway. Now, when we are viewing this module, we're going to be viewing it looking this way. And this part here sort of will help to block the red LEDs, or at least the tops of them. But what I'm thinking of doing here, and this is sort of the first time I'm trying this, at least with the LED bent, put it that way, or the wires bent. I want to try and get it in here. Come on, why won't that go? Keeps wanting to pop back out. This is a, don't want to break these wires off here. I am getting so clumsy lately. I should be able to get this to go in there. It went in there before. Maybe I have to get my reamer out and make that hole just a little bit bigger. I don't want to scrape the red paint off of the LED either. That's going to defeat the purpose, isn't it? Yeah, oh, there we go. Went almost too far. You can see where I sort of did get some of the red paint off. Okay, now what I'm thinking is if I can get the wire to sort of tuck all the way along the edge here. Now the other one, okay, we gotta bend it, and you know what? Oh, the red has come off. I guess I squeezed too hard. Okay, another setback. What are we going to do here? Do I just put it in and maybe I could touch it up from the other side with red paint? That might work. And in all likelihood, this one here has also had red come off. This is not the end of the world. This is not the end of the world. Let's just poke this in here and think about it. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to do this off camera. I'm working at a rather awkward angle. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, it's pretty dark in the radio rooms here, so I've overridden my auto ISO here. But one of the red LEDs is right there, and the other one is right there. There is quite a bit of red paint still on them, but when they lit up. Oh, by the way, I've got everything all wired now. This module's ready to put back into the. We'll take a look at the other side later. But I'm just wondering, should I maybe take my little brush and just paint this side with ordinary red, with just a thin coating? I mean, the light might shine through. Yet on the other hand, maybe I should leave well enough alone. Let's hook them up and see how they look. We'll hook them up and then we'll turn the overhead lights out and see what it looks like. Okay, we'll turn the lights out. I'm wondering if possibly 2.5 volts is a little bit on the dim side here. Yeah, it is lighting it up, but not very much. I'm going to just put a jumper cable on here, and we're just going to go straight to 3 volts. Okay, that's 3 volts. That's actually a lot better. And we have the illusion of red going on there, don't we? Yeah. That's okay. I'm just going to leave those the way they are. And I think maybe we're just going to have to go straight for the full 3 volts. And what I'm going to have to do is just make sure that, I think maybe I'll use a couple of batteries as a power supply. We're not going to have them on, all the time anyway. And the other modules will be lit up much the same way. But I was curious as to how did the red. And I'm happy with that. It's kind of radio room like, isn't it? Okay, let's move on. We got a lot more to do here. Now, I had said that I was going to show you what I did with the blue tack to cover up the tops of the LEDs, and yeah, we won't be actually seeing those. Hopefully, they are going to be sort of a flat black. Anyway, that's what I did, and that's what I'm planning to do with the other modules as well. I'm just going to methodically go through them one after the other. Try and get all the wire to gang together in one location, and then for each module it'll be something like this. Then we'll join them all together to a common, I don't know what you call it. Is it called a bus? Anyway, yeah, I think this is going to be okay. At least no light is going to get out of the top now. Okay, this part is in focus because this is the piece in question. But down here is that push rod that I was talking about. And what is supposed to happen is that the clevis on this is supposed to hook onto this, but I put this piece on the this piece I'm touching right now. I should have fastened it onto the other diving plane that is coming from the back here on this one. Then I would have been able to manipulate it a lot better, and then shove this shaft through the clear plastic and match it up with this. In other words, I did it wrong. Okay, now what I'm thinking of right now is that possibly I can take the extra thin here. I'm not going to do it on camera because I don't want to accidentally drip it down onto the clear plastic. But I'm noticing there is a bit of a hole here that I can get to the end of this shaft, and then also I can maybe wet it from coming this way, and hopefully I'm going to be able to work it loose and pull it off, and then we'll put the other diving plane in this part right down here and fasten it the way I should have the first time. My goodness, this is kind of convoluted, isn't it? Anyway, you know, it's funny, I cannot remember what this thing is called. You know, there's a specific name for it, and it's such a simple name, and it's on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't get it. Well, it's not the end of the world. Okay, I'm just going to do this off camera. It's either going to work or it isn't going to work. That makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, I got it off. And I might have to clean it out a little bit here. My holder down is starting to stick in the glue. You can see that the hole is not shaped quite the way it is supposed to. It's supposed to be. Now what I was going to do was I was going to glue it onto the diving plane, which I have stuck through from the other side. And the problem is, if I do that, then I'm going to have that diving plane sticking out. And the whole idea, if you remember, was that we were going to wait with the exterior parts until after we were through messing around placing modules and all the rest of it. So I think what we'll do is we will wait. I guess I was going to say I could probably put this part on the end of the push rod, but we'll put it in the tray with all the other little pieces. I won't forget. And we'll do that just before we seal it up with the clear plastic. At least that's the plan. We'll get it. Sure nice to see the sun shining in through the window. Spring's on its way. I'm just going to keep working away at this, but I'm going to wind up the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.